Hello everyone, hope you've been keeping well. Welcome to Hitbullseye. In today's video, we'll take an in-depth look into the CSAS system, a system adopted by the Delhi University for undergraduate admissions for this academic year. So let's get started with the video. To begin with, CSAS is Common Seat Allocation System. That's the broad definition of it, but what does it entirely entail? It has been broken down into 3 processes, and we'll delve into each process in detail so that the admission process is seamless for you. So let's move ahead with the video. So first things first, in order to start with the process, you need to log on to the official website ugadmission.uod.ac.in. Once you've done that, you'll be carrying out 3 steps in different timelines. You'll start with one step, and after the portal or the time period of it closes down, will the second process start. So as for the processes, it's a 3-step process for admission into the Delhi University. Number 1 being registration, in which you essentially register yourself to the Delhi University portal and also fill out the application. The second step would be filling up the preferences and how to go about it, how to gauge what you're interested in, and how to form that list for best suited position for yourself. That we'll delve into later on in the video. And the third and the final step would be seat allocation for you based on your merit as per the CUET scores and the seats vacant and other criteria that are there. We'll be taking a look into different counseling sessions that will take place and how to go about freezing your seats or upgrading your seats, etc. So when it comes to registration, now this is your very first step into the admission process. For this, you need to log on to the official website that I had mentioned, ugadmission.uod.ac.in. After that, when you open that portal, this will flash on your screen, wherein you will have an option for new registration. That is in case you haven't registered for the portal itself. Alright. And if you have already done that, something like login will flash on the right side of the screen, wherein you'll have to fill in your credentials and get inside your own dashboard. So for new registration, you will have to fill out all your basic information, and you will also have to put in your CUET roll number, which will essentially link the two, and your information like signature, name, photograph, etc. You will not have to upload it again. It will attach itself to the CUET form. Alright. So that's there. And like I've mentioned, the admission to the programs will be done through the portal on the basis of CUET score. Now the first step is to apply to the University of Delhi, fill in the application form and pay a fee of 250 rupees. For UR, OBC and EWS, for SC, ST and PWBD, you will have to pay 100 rupees as your application form. Now moving forward, ahead, after this process, you will have to fill in the preferences for programs and colleges. Now, how to go about it? Let's take a look at that. The second step in your process is that of preference list. Now, in order to form your preferences, it's a great idea to go through the UGDU BOI for 2023. So what you essentially need to do is type this in Google, and what you'll get is around a 100-page PDF, which contains your comprehensive information on the list of colleges, the courses that they provide, the eligibility criteria, the seats that are vacant, and or the seats of the courses, and also the syllabus for all the courses. So you can in detail study it and form your preference list accordingly. Now there's 2 ways that people generally go about making a preference list. One is that you have a preferred college. So you can compromise a little bit on the course maybe, but you want admission into a particular college, and so you will fill your preferences accordingly. right, wherein you will fill up, on your preference list, the college would almost remain the same, and they will rank as per your own interest, and the courses you can compromise on. But some people, they want very specific courses and they can compromise a little bit on the colleges. So however it suits you, you can make the preference list accordingly, but you should most definitely go through the PDF in order to have complete information to make this very informed decision, because making a preference list, that will essentially guide which where you get admitted into. So you want to make sure that you are very sure about it. The second best thing about filling up the preference list in the DU is that you can wish to choose as many programs as you wish to. So there's n number of colleges with n number of courses. So you might not have your heart set on a particular course or college as of now. So whatever intrigues you or interests you just even a little bit, you can fill it in your preference list, because no harm, no foul, right? So just put in as many courses as you wish to, but just make sure that you do have the program specific eligibility for it. Say for example, a particular program requires you to have had certain elective subjects back in class 12th. So make sure that you do have that in order to avoid any last minute hassle, because your documents will be verified by the colleges later on as well. So it's better to respect the process in the very beginning and just make sure that you're on top of things. Now, one other thing that needs to be taken care of is timings, is deadline. There are certain deadlines for filling up certain things. After the registration closes, you will have the option of filling up your preferences, and even those preferences have a timeline attached. What you need to do is, after you've filled up your preference list, just push that submit button or press that submit button, because that will lock in your preferences. If you filled up the preferences and not press the submit button before the window closes down for that, then you will be out of the admission process altogether. So one very important thing when going through this entire process is time. It is of the utmost essence, because if you miss any one step in the entire process, that will essentially bar you from further participating in the process, and it will cost you your dream college. So make sure that you are not procrastinating, and that you let go of the lethargic attitude and just do things very, very timely and not leave them to the last day. So after you've done that, after you've put in maximum amount of preferences, you can lock your preference list. Now moving ahead, we have seat allocation. Now after you filled in your preferences and put in your scores, etc., a provisional seat will be allocated to you, and it is your own responsibility to keep checking your dashboard to see which seat has been allotted to you and when is that happening, or when it has happened. Okay, like I said, it is the responsibility of the candidate to log into the dashboard and check if a seat is allocated in a given round of seat allocation. Okay, and if allocated, she or he must complete all admission formalities. So you need to make sure that you're checking your dashboard regularly, almost logging in every other day, to make sure you're not missing out on any of the updates. Now after the allocated seat has been flashed on your dashboard, it will clearly mention what seat you're getting, that is what course you're getting into and what college. Okay, now once you've done that, you must, let me reiterate, you must accept the allocated seat. Even if you want upgradation in consequent counseling rounds, for you to be participating in the counseling rounds, you need to accept the allocated seat, even if you do not want admission into it and you might want a better college for yourself or a shot at getting into the better college for yourself. Because this will essentially show the Delhi University that you are interested in taking admission into the Delhi University. If there's inactivity in your in your dashboard, or if there's inactivity on your part, that will show through, and the Delhi University will think that you are not interested in taking admission there, and so you will be out of the process of admissions entirely. So once you've accepted the allocated seat, and for people who have been allotted multiple seats, they need to accept just one particular seat. And like I've mentioned again, inactivity and no action will be taken as non-acceptance to the allocated seat, and the candidate will no longer be able to participate in the consequent rounds of CSAS. Alright. Now moving forward, after you have accepted the seat allocation, what will essentially happen is that the onus will now pass on to the college. They will verify all your documents, etc., and they will either accept your application or reject it. Different grounds of rejecting the application would be that some documents are no longer verified or valid anymore, and other stuff like that. So just make sure that you have everything in order and there is no discrepancy on your part for a smooth process, for a smooth acceptance of application. And make sure that you also meet the eligibility criteria, of course. So now, after the college has accepted your application, you will have to pay the fee within a stipulated time period, because fee will confirm your seat. If you haven't paid the fee within the stipulated time, you will be again out of the entire process and you will have no scope of admissions into the Delhi University. So you will have to pay the admission fee for the approved seat. The admission process will be treated complete only after successful payment of the admission fee, like I've mentioned. Alright. And if you fail to pay the admission fee, you will be considered that there has been a cancellation of the provisionally allocated seat. Now, after you've accepted the your provisional seat, you will get two options here. One would be to freeze your seat, and the other would be to upgrade your seat. Now, freeze is essentially that you are freezing your seat and that you want admission into a particular course and that you are happy with it. Okay, that is when you freeze your seat. But when you are not happy and you want a scope to upgrade to a better college of your preference, a college that was higher up on your preference list, you can push the upgrade option. Because in circumstances like seats becoming vacant because of cancellations or rejections or withdrawals, then you will stand a chance, if you push the upgrade button, to be allotted a seat that was higher up in your preference list if you press that upgrade button. So there's no harm in upgrading. So yes, make sure that you do that as well, but make sure if you've already been given a college or that was higher up, that was highest on your preference list, then you cannot change it. You cannot degrade because that was your first preference. Plus, if you've gotten a college in a course of your first preference, I don't think you would want to change anything in that either. So, but anyway, when you upgrade, you will be considered in consequent allocation rounds or consequent counseling rounds. So make sure that you do this as well. Even if you want to upgrade to a better seat in the different allocation round, make sure that you accept whichever seat that has been allotted to you in the first go and pay the fee for that. Because that is the only way that you will be able to participate in the other rounds. And if you get like a better seat in the second round, and if you're happy with it, you can stick with it. If not, then you can move on to the third counseling round, and the fee will be refunded to you. So do not worry about that. Just make sure that you're accepting and that you have paid the fee. Now, like I've already mentioned, based on the vacancies, availability of seats that arise due to rejections, cancellation and withdrawals, the university may announce multiple allocation rounds, and it will display the vacant seats on its admission website. All admitted candidates who opt for the upgrade option they will be considered for the respective allocation round. Okay, and after that they will conduct different counseling rounds until all the seats are filled. So that was it regarding the process. In case you still have any doubts or queries, you can reach us at this number or mail us at help@hitbullseye.com. As for now, thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please press the like, subscribe and share button and leave a comment down for us to read. Thank you and have a nice day.